What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Exchange. My name is Tim, and next to you, our co-host is back, Tyler. Feeling better, and he's here to talk with me about college football, Week 8, so let's get into it right now.
First up, Tennessee versus Bama.
Yeah.
What a... Was it an upset?
I mean, it was entertaining. It was an entertaining football game. We've seen it once with Vanderbilt. We've seen it twice with South Carolina. Now we've seen it a third time with Alabama. Once again, shoots themselves in the foot.
Bang!
Gives the game away. This time it wasn't against an unranked South Carolina. This time it was against a really good Tennessee team.
In their conference.
Yeah, who's been struggling offensively, but if you give them enough chances to score, they're going to take it. And they did exactly that. Bama had the lead and was doing an okay job defensively until the third quarter. Bama finished the game with 2 interceptions, 1 fumble that they did recovering, but 15 penalties,
That
accumulating 115 yards.
that's not shooting your foot. That's cutting your foot off.
Yeah, blowing it up. Boom. No way. Now let's give Tennessee props.
Yeah, of course.
They shut down the Alabama run game with only allowing 75 total yards rushing.
Which is super surprising because Bama can't run.
Yeah, I mean, they got athletes who can run the ball. They have a massive offensive line that's talented. Tennessee's defensive line just clogged the lanes, and he's like, no, if you're going to beat us, it's going to be through the air.
Yeah.
Jalen Monroe, been known for forcing balls in there, making mistakes under pressure. Yeah.
How big of a win was this for the Volunteers?
I mean, going down the stretch, they had that loss. Bouncing back from it, this was a staple win for their program. Showing in the SEC. I mean, if it comes down to tiebreakers and what team going, these games mean everything.
Yes.
That game was huge for the Volunteers. What was everything else happening in the SEC? You got Texas A&M.
Yep.
You got LSU.
Yep.
Missouri.
Yes.
Vanderbilt somehow is still in the equation.
Which was...
It's going to be a
It
miracle.
wasn't on my radar at all.
No, it's going to be a miracle.
Miracle.
Alabama isn't really out of it, but if they struggle again, like I don't even see them making the 12-team playoff, let alone competing for the SEC.
And it's so competitive this year. It's crazy.
Just right when they go to a 12-team playoff, everyone's like, I want to go.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go. Great man. Texas versus Georgia. I was not saying this.
Nope.
I don't think Georgia's that good of a team. I think they are a decent team. They're just not Texas level, but they
were Saturday.
They were Saturday. So, for the first time all season, the Texas Longhorns were shut out in the first half. Was it 23-0?
23-0.
They looked very unorganized, discombobulated. They didn't look like Texas. They looked like Florida State. Sorry.
What do you think about Steve Sarkisian benching Quinn Ewers? Do you think he was just grasping at anything?
I think he was trying to grasp on a greasy slope. It was like, just please pump the brakes.
I was like, nothing against Quinn Ewers. Like, he did all that he could do during that game. That offense just couldn't keep up with Georgia's.
No. And that's the thing, though. Georgia gave them chances. Texas couldn't capitalize when they, he had Texas cornerback had that interception for almost a touchdown, and they still got shut out.
Yeah.
So, kudos for Georgia's defense for honestly stopping Texas's high-powered offense. At least getting them to do a hiccup.
Yeah.
That was a very surprising game to watch. It was because I like Texas. I like Texas here. I'm a big Manning fan, and I like Ewing too. Carson Beck did get the win, but he wasn't very effective.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
No, he doesn't
3
really.
interceptions. He had another game earlier this year, 3 interceptions,
Yeah.
and couldn't make the comeback. I think it was against Bama, right?
Yeah, like 175 total yards
So,
passing.
yeah, nobody on Georgia's offense had a standout night, but they
That defense.
that defense was a different story. What's his name? Jalen Walker. He had 7 tackles, 3 sacks with a fumble recovery. That's capitalizing.
Yeah.
You know, if you can keep the ball out of Texas's hands after they take the ball out of your hands, it's you're gonna have
That's an
big
easy
game.
recipe. Yeah, easy
So-
recipe. Yeah, another defensive guy, Dylan Everett.
Yeah,
He had 7 tackles, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. I'd like to have that guy on my team
oh yeah. I
with,
mean,
with that kind of production on defense.
Yeah, you get that's next level kind of production. So that might be a good pickup in the next. I'm not sure what class he is, but we have to wait a couple years.
Yeah.
But if he keeps it up, that can be very, very useful in the next level. What does this loss mean for the Longhorns?
It shows that they're not untouchable. Like, it brought them back down, humbled them a little bit, which some teams do better after being humbled.
Yes,
So maybe this is a good thing for
Notre
Texas.
Dame.
Notre Dame.
they're slapping now. Not Michigan.
They did not play at their best. They can learn from the mistakes, watch game film, break it down, go in your different quarterback room, running back rooms, defensive back rooms, go in your rooms, straighten everything out, come back next week, and handle business.
Do you think Ewing lost the job permanently?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think, like you said, I think he was grasping on a greasy slope, just trying to do everything to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going, when a game's going like that for you, you wouldn't be a good coach if you didn't try something a little unorthodox, like taking your quarterback out, who wasn't really playing a bad game. He just couldn't get any points on the board.
Should Georgia be the #1 team?
So I have a thing. When you beat the #1 team, you should be the #1 team, depending on where you're at. If it's like an upset, but if you're in the top 7, top 5, and it's a matchup,
Yeah,
I think they should flop.
that would be a
Depending on what other teams are up there, though, I know Oregon's #1 right now, and they have they took care of Ohio State. So I understand Oregon's position right now, why they're #1. Georgia's #2. I'm okay with that. As long as Georgia was #2 behind Oregon, I'm good with it.
I still don't think they're a top 3 team myself, top 4 team even. I'm also being very hard on Georgia. Georgia for the last 4 or 5 years was basically been the team. So
Yeah. They were the new Alabama.
Yeah, Michigan got lucky last year. Let's just say that. But no, I think moving forward, I don't know, I'm excited to see what this SEC tie-breaking stuff does. It's going to be big. Like I said, we said this earlier in the year. It is a great time to be a college football fan. So,
Yeah.
super exciting.
All right, so with all that SEC action out of the way, let's take a look and dive deeper into that SEC and go through the rankings. #1, Texas A&M. Rough start to the season. Now they sit on top of the biggest or toughest conference in the country. Then you got LSU. Another team had a rocky start, losing to USC. Bounced back, had a couple rough games after that, but then now they're in full stride, full powering offense. Defense is getting better, which they desperately needed. Then you had Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri at 2-1 in conference. Texas, Vanderbilt, and then Alabama, 8 in the conference. So who do you see playing in the SEC championship game based on this?
Honestly, I mean,
I don't even.
My gut says Texas. It's only because I think they lost on a matchup team, and they match up with everyone else pretty damn good.
Okay.
Georgia's huge. Georgia's big. They're bullies. If they can recover from this, like you said, get humbled, I think Texas can be could come back and win this. But I think I'm not ruling out Texas A&M just staying on top. They've shown they want to play. They're ready to play, and they're not a pushover.
No.
And surprising LSU too, because they can't stop anyone. They can outscore them, but they can't stop anyone.
Right.
So I guess it works. But I would like to see it'd almost be nice to see a Georgia Texas rematch for the. I don't think that'll happen. But
no. What I would really like to see is an in-state SEC kind of Texas A&M going against Texas.
That'd be dope.
That's my dream. That's what I put down. I'd like to see, because Texas A&M is just a different monster right now than what they were at the beginning of the season. I don't know what the issue was because they still performed really good against Notre Dame. Notre Dame just had the better outcome of
I
a
do
good
think
game.
in the beginning of the year, what I've seen on SportsCenter and other sources, they did say that Texas A&M, they weren't ready. They weren't ready for camp after camp. So maybe they took their first L and got ready, got their shit straight.
It's like, all right, this is where we need work.
So
this is where we're okay.
So I'm hoping, that would be a really cool SEC championship right there. New Texas versus Texas A&M, sweet.
All right, so I've gotten a couple comments about the show saying we don't cover enough games. So we're going to do something a little different. It's called Rapid Fire. We're just going to go through a couple games, discuss it a little bit, starting with South Carolina beating Oklahoma 35-9 in Norman and scoring 21 points in the first 6 minutes of the game with a rushing touchdown, a fumble return for a touchdown, and a pick six, which helped them get to a 32-3 lead at halftime, and then they never looked back. Thoughts on South Carolina and Oklahoma. What's going on in Oklahoma?
I thought Oklahoma was going to be one of the teams to beat, but they're kind of letting their people kick in their front door.
Yeah.
And
really losing Dylan Gabriel hurt them.
Yes.
It's obvious.
But go Gamecocks. Like South Carolina, hey, good job. I mean,
they had a good showing against Alabama last week, and they come right back here after a devastating loss. And they put 35?
Yeah, I mean,
on Oklahoma?
Way to come back and punch them in the throat. So I'm not down around here. So.
Oh, yeah.
Another game, BYU stays unbeaten.
Yeah, so I took this as my upset. I thought Oklahoma State had the right matchup with BYU's roster where it gave a little bit of edge to the Cowboys. Now, this game went down to the wire. Don't get me wrong. This was back and forth, late field goal. It was a late touchdown. But these two teams battled and all the way to the end.
What I've noticed about BYU, and they're quickly becoming one of my favorite teams to watch, is they may not have the most talent or be the biggest guys compared to Georgia, Texas, Alabama, who dominates the recruiting class. All their guys have a chip on their shoulder. They all have heart, and even though they go down, we're not out. You never see anyone on the sideline throw a fit, put their head down, nothing. I think that's really big in college football right now.
Yeah.
So go BYU.
A lot of people that get Alabama offers, but then they realize they're going to be third on the depth chart.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't want to sit for 3 years because I have another freshman and a sophomore ahead of me. It's like, I'll go somewhere else where I'm starting, and then I'll show you why you should have started.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like what Ryan Williams, the freshman wide receiver. People only get more and more talented. So,
I'm really looking forward to watching Ryan Williams in the future.
Oh.
Yeah, so next up, Michigan falls to the Fighting Illini 21-7. Michigan fans were hoping Jack Tuttle would be the answer to that passing game offense. That is now evident he is not the savior of that aspect of your game.
We should either pray for a transfer portal person, maybe a savior, Or I would throw everything I have at 3 solid freshmen and cut every single one of those people, one of those quarterbacks that we have now. I don't care if you take away their scholarships or not. Put them as water boys, or in different positions. Because at this point, Tim Tebow couldn't throw a spiral to save his life. Could throw with his opposite hand and make more completions, and that's coming. I love Michigan, but I've been so disappointed because we got talent.
Okay, so my question for you was like, is it the quarterback's problem, or do you not have the wide receiver talent to get open?
We have the talent. I feel like we have the talent. I'm pretty sure on all the boards that I seen were with the signing day and everything, we were 4, 5, 3 stars and above.
Because you look at the attempts, you guys aren't even really throwing the ball that much.
Because when you throw a knuckleball,
well,
it's kind of hard.
Every quarterback
has
a bad throw every now and then.
Well, we have a bad throw every throw. It'd be nice. Like, I watched last game, not this last one, but the one before. Number 10, I can't remember the name. The Scrambler.
You're talking about
Welcome back after the technical difficulties.
yeah.
We were kind of into Michigan, so we're going to start off there. Michigan falls to the Fighting Illini 21-7.
No.
No? What? No.
Go Illinois.
No, I'm not clapping for that. Like we were talking about earlier, and we'll probably be able to patch this in. Jack Tuttle, Orgy, and whoever the first cat was, cut them off. Cut every last one of them.
Are you facing me?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm roaming today. I'm just rolling. I'm excited about the Michigan topic. But no, I think I left off with. I watched Orgy throw a 10-yard pass, but it wasn't fluid. It was like watching Charles Barkley swing a fucking club. He was like this, a strong arm, and yeah, I don't know. We have talent. We have a good, decent line. They hold on to the ball too long. I thought Tuttle showed them like that. I'm like, hey, it's a quarterback. Look at that.
Hey.
But he's not. He's we're gonna list them as athletes because maybe they could do something else. But
Okay. Do you think he just had a bad game? Because Illinois has a really good defense. So can we just chalk it up to a bad game? Give him one more chance?
I'm willing to give Tuttle one more chance, but those other 2 cats, no, cut them. And for Jack Tuttle, you've been around forever. You've been the backup to everyone's backup forever. You've seen every scheme. You should know all the tricks of the trade besides going out there and playing.
Do you think he's one of those quarterbacks that been on the sideline wearing that, doing the signs and
Doing a little bit of YMCA and too much coaching?
maybe
that's what you do.
where he's not really paying attention to the
I don't know.
actual game?
I don't know because when he first got in there, I was like, damn, we got a baller. He's scrambling. He's diving for extra yards. We have a football player. And then I see this game, I'm like, what happened? And I'm just so disappointed with him. We'll give him another chance though, but this has completely blown Michigan's chances for being irrelevant in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're not
being
competing.
anything. They won't be ranked at the end of the year. They won't be ranked next year.
I mean, they'll probably be in the Tax Slayer Bowl.
You had chance to follow up your year. We knew it was going to be a little tougher, because it's hard to come back to back. You don't. I mean, they have talent. They don't have the recruiting classes, Georgia, Texas.
Yeah.
But you had the prestige. You could have built something off that, and this was your chance. You lost it. So that's all I'm saying about that.
I got a question now. What's a more disappointing season? Florida State's season or Michigan's season?
Michigan was the defending champions. Florida State had a lot of.
Florida State's 1-6.
They had a lot of promise and upside, but I mean, who have they lost to? I can't remember. They haven't been bad teams.
Florida State, Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech is better than what they put out.
Okay.
Um,
Boston College.
They were ranked for a second.
Mm.
So I mean, Florida State has had some competition, but not. I don't know. I feel like their losses. Florida State's had some bad games, bad luck, bad games.
A lot.
Michigan has had a chance to win and be successful, and they've what do you call it? Fumbled the ball. So I'm a Michigan fan, diehard. I'm gonna be hard on them.
Yeah.
Hard on just like you would be Notre Dame. You know,
Absolutely.
If they were being piss poor. Now I can't talk to you about Notre Dame.
No, you can't.
Probably for the rest of the season. Thank you, Michigan. We need Harbaugh back.
All right. Next up, Army and Navy are still both undefeated through 8 weeks of the season.
Good job.
I'm a little nervous with this Notre Dame Navy game coming up.
As well as I think you should be. They've got confidence on their side.
They also got speed.
They got these aren't like
talent.
Army and Navy teams in the past.
No.
These are legitimate teams. These teams are here.
Yeah, we got real boys in the Naval Academy.
Yeah, they ain't just saluting. They running and gunning. So
yeah.
And it's awesome to see. You know, I've always liked Army, Navy, Air Force. It's fun to kind of watch them do well. So
yeah. Iowa State also joins the team who stay unbeaten in their conference with a win over UCF. A pretty close game. Shouldn't have been this close, but it was 35-38 win over UCF.
Yeah, that was surprising. But that was a great game to watch, though. It was really was a good game.
Yeah. All right, so now for the first time this season of the episode, we're going to break down what we think the 12 playoff team format is going to look like. I brought this to you the other day.
Yep.
Kind of threw these together real quick just by basing what's going on right now. We will do another one once the college football playoff rankings come out, which is November 5th. So that'll be the first one of that. But right now, I have Oregon as the Big Ten champs as the number 1 overall seed.
Same.
I also am going to flip my number 2 and number 3. I think Texas will be the SEC champs and be second.
Okay.
Then I have Miami as the ACC champs at 3. Iowa State, Big 12 champs, number 4, getting that final first round bye.
Okay, I have Miami and Texas. Miami second, Texas third now.
Okay, the only reason I did that is because I think they would rank the SEC champ higher than the ACC.
Bigger, stronger conference. Makes sense.
Strength of schedule, you kind of look at stuff like that. Number 5, I have the SEC runner-up in Georgia.
And that's where we change it. I have, I think Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Is gonna, scrape their way up there.
Okay.
So, basically the same, a little different.
Number 6, I have the Big Ten runner-up, Ohio State.
Yep.
Clemson, the ACC runner-up at
Yep.
7. Notre Dame, 8 at 11-1. Penn State, 11-1. BYU, 10-2, and the Big 12 runner-up. Then I have Boise State and SMU.
Yeah, you have to have Boise State. I mean, and SMU, they rock that conference every year.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, Boise State will have a tough test in their next week's game against UNLV. I also have UNLV on the bubble. I also have Texas A&M, LSU, Kansas State, Tennessee, and Pitt.
Yeah.
Although I don't know why I put Pitt in there. I think Pitt will lose this coming up week's game.
Lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Like I said, these things will change every week, as the college playoff football committee will do every week. It'll change. So that'll be kind of fun for us to keep up with.
Yeah. And also, I think what we talked about, week 9 is when we'll take our guesses for the Heisman. Also.
Yeah, I did that.
Someone
I got
did.
into it last week.
Okay. Oh, did you? Okay.
I did.
I was sick, so.
Yeah, I had Genty number 1,
Of course.
and then I had Dylan Gabriel's 2.
I think Cam Ward is above him myself.
I had Cam Ward.
but
Yeah,
then
2 and 3 are interchangeable. 4, I had Caleb Johnson, running back for Iowa.
Okay, yep. Okay, he's good. I also thought about Ryan Williams, but it's harder for a freshman to get him.
Yeah.
But if there was one freshman to come out and maybe be close, actually, it's not even gonna be close. Genty is gonna do it. I'm calling that right now. I'm just gonna give him a shout out real quick because I've just been watching him like a fucking hawk. He left the game at halftime. His last game against Utah State.
Mm-hmm.
3 touchdowns, 192 or 194 yards. Wow.
Who was it?
Genty.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Ashton
he
Jenkins.
and
Okay.
that wasn't even his highest game.
No.
If they let him play, 400 yards.
300 or 400
Easy.
yards.
Easy. Because everyone, for some reason, everyone keeps arm tackling him.
Ain't gonna
He
work.
runs as fast as I'm gonna say as fast as Reggie Bush, and has got power like Montgomery and
I'd say Barkley.
Saquon.
Barkley,
Shoot,
yeah.
he runs like Brandon Jacobs, but he's only 5'9".
He's got Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Reggie Bush. He's got.
and he's only 20.
Yeah, I know.
So, whoever, this will be his last year in college football, because he's a junior.
You think?
Yeah, he's a junior.
You don't think he'll come back?
I-
If he doesn't win the Heisman, does he come back?
To me, if it was me, I'm getting that check. Unless the Heisman's worth $1 million, I just don't know.
I'm just saying because the running back market
It-
isn't what it used to be in the NFL draft. Yes, the last highest running back taken was Jahmyr Gibbs at 12.
Yeah. Is Jahmyr Gibbs Genty? No, I think Genty.
No.
I think Genty could be the top 10 NFL. I think he's.
Well, I just saw a thing about Reggie Bush was talking about how when he was going into the draft, he was the shoo-in #1 pick. He's been dominant at USC for so many years, and then he didn't find out he wasn't going to be the #1 pick until draft night when he found out the Houston Texans already signed a contract with Mario Williams. And then Drew Brees called him up and said, hey, I played with one of the best running backs in LaDainian Tomlinson, and I think you have ability to be as good and even better than he was. And ever since then, he felt comfortable in New Orleans, and Drew Brees and Reggie Bush clicked.
No, they did. I don't know. If I was a GM for whatever team, and I needed a running back, even remotely needed a running back, I'm picking him up.
So you think he's the top 10 first-round pick?
I think he's top 15
Top 15.
first
Okay.
round pick.
Okay.
Because
That's not too far-fetched.
Boise State's line isn't that good. They're not overpowering people. They're holding blocks just enough. Everyone that tries to hit this man up top is being bounced off, or they can't catch him.
Yeah.
I thought he was way bigger than weight. He runs huge, but he's not. He's like 5'9", maybe 5'10" with cleats on, 225 pounds.
Yeah.
They had him listed at 215. That's a lie. His thighs were this big.
Yeah, there's no way.
No, but I'm shouting him out. You can count me right now. That's my pick
Okay.
for the rest of the season, unless he dies, which that will never happen. So
yeah. And then my number 5 was Kyle McCord,
yeah,
quarterback for Syracuse.
yeah, he's doing really well.
Really well. And what dumbfounds me is Syracuse is not ranked.
No,
They're 6-1 in the ACC.
it's because they're in the ACC.
They're right behind Clemson and Miami, but yet get no love from the AP.
I thought they would be ranked before SMU was.
That's what, like, if Navy and Army were having the seasons that they're
Yeah.
having right now, there's no way Syracuse is
No,
not.
and like I said, college football, yes. Who impressed you this week?
So I'm going to start up right off the bat. Georgia's defense.
Yes.
Who completely shut down Texas running game and holding them in only 29 yards on the ground.
That's like the reverse of what Michigan has. We can't get 29 yards in the air, so
No.
you might as well kick it to someone. At this point, like is
Third
Michigan,
down.
is
Cut
Michigan playing college football, or should we sign up for rugby?
That's not a bad idea. You might actually win.
Yes.
Well,
we
no.
we couldn't run last week either, so maybe
I don't even think you get that lateral now.
that's too far.
It's
Too
too
far. You have to throw it on the ground, get in the scrum, and then I get back.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michigan. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you have anyone that impressed you?
Genty. He impressed me.
Okay.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, the running back from UNLV or not UNLV, Utah State. I can't remember his name, but he ran just as well as Genty did.
Yeah.
Also, I can't remember his name, but the SMU quarterback. He was
Kyle Jennings or Kevin Jennings.
Kevin, yeah, he did pretty damn good.
Yeah,
So,
I mean
it's still Stanford, but
SMU's that running game at SMU's top notch.
they run like horses.
But it's
they are
ironic.
Horses, That's why I said it.
But yeah, it's only his third start because he took over for Preston Stone.
Yep.
But and with that performance, 17 to 27, 322, 3 touchdowns.
He's poised.
He's only going to get better with more reps and confidence.
And how can Michigan not do this? Okay, no offense to SMU, you guys are playing great this year. Who is SMU compared to Michigan? How do you guys have a quarterback like that? Even Preston Stone was slinging before he got hurt.
I'll tell you what, though, a lot of people that left the SEC when transfers, a lot of them went to SMU. Alabama, Georgia's,
they got
Missouri's.
promise to play.
They went to SMU.
So SMU just hit the map. That's only going to help their recruiting process, help them grow. Michigan is going to be the size of Eastern next year.
All right. So let's get into who let us down because
Michigan, and that's all I'm
right
saying
there.
about it. Talking enough about Michigan. Tuttle and mainly too.
I was going to say Michigan's offense or the lack thereof.
No offense.
Michigan's offense. Tuttle made a huge difference in the passing game, but it's just not meant to be for the Wolverines. Because Tuttle did make a difference in the passing game, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, I mean, when you could only throw 110 yards a game, I mean...
After throwing only, 12 times?
It's...
14 times?
It's vomiting at my back of my mouth. Like I said, he's going to get one more chance for me, and if not, I'm set. I want him to cut him off.
You just hand the ball off.
Give the fullback a chance. You can do the same thing.
Put the punter in there. Punters are usually good quarterbacks.
And soccer players. Whatever.
You can just third down and say he doesn't see anyone open, he'll just punt.
And I just don't understand from the first game he came in, he was just so poised. It was like
I'm telling you, I think it's Illinois' defense. I think it's Illinois' defense.
You know
Give
what they had
Illinois' defense credit.
No,
They
Illinois
had it.
They had the defense.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it was 21-7. They shut him down.
Right.
But I don't know.
I know it's frustrating being a Michigan fan.
It is right now.
It's a little different for you than it is for me looking at it.
So
it's a little different.
I want all the players on Michigan to do well. And I'd love to see Tuttle, or even if they gave the other two other guys a chance and they shined out, show us that you belong here. Right? I know high schoolers in our hometowns that could throw better than them right now.
Yeah. So how much do you think it's hurting Michigan right now that they couldn't pull in Lloyd Carr's grandson, CJ Carr, and he decided to go to Notre Dame? I mean, I'm going to bring it up because I want to know your opinion. You couldn't pull in.
I mean, you
the
had
the coach that brought you the national championship in 1997.
you had the Michigan head coach's grandson, the Michigan's head coach's grandson, the head coach of Michigan. He's like Harbaugh. That's it. Those are the only two guys I remember or even care about. Because we had great teams.
You know, I really like Brady Hoke. Sorry.
I hope C did as well. Or breaks a foot.
One last player that let me down is Dylan Raiola,
Yes.
quarterback for Nebraska. Had a really bad day Saturday with his 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. Nebraska got blown out by Indiana. Sorry, Indiana, for not believing in you. I thought Nebraska would win this game. No, you guys are going a lot farther than I thought.
They are.
So-
Yeah, Indiana's doing pretty good.
I'm not doubting Indiana again. All right. You ready to get into some picks?
Yeah, let's
All right.
let's do
Last
it.
week I was solo and did not fare very well. I went 10-6. Usually we've been doing a lot better in college than NFL.
It was, yeah. So it was sick.
Yeah.
So you should
Stay
count
away
me
from
out.
that beer can chicken.
You should count me. You should count me at 100%. You know, that's what,
No, you get a 0.
Man.
All right, we're gonna start with Syracuse and Pitt. This is when I just mentioned earlier. I think Pitt's gonna lose. Syracuse, Kyle McCord, gonna take this win. Finally, crack that top 25 in the AP poll. Get the respect that they deserve, and start making a charge for the ACC title.
Yeah, Syracuse is gonna walk away with this one. I think. It's,
Okay.
they're just doing too well. Pitt's not a bad team at all by any means, but
I just don't like the competition that Pitt has played against.
no, it's like almost like Ohio State being tested by Oregon. You know, it's they haven't really been tested by a sweet team. So if they do well against Syracuse, I have Syracuse as a really good team. So if Pitt does beat Syracuse, okay, Pitt is legit. If not, then we know.
All right.
So-
Boise State, UNLV.
Boise.
Boise State, UNLV is they're up in that Mountain West Conference.
Yeah.
They're 1-2.
Those are Lobos, right? You know, UNLV Lobos. No, that's New Mexico State. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So that's going to be whoever's going to take control of that Big 12
Genty's,
or Mountain West.
Genty's gonna rush for 175 at least.
230.
Well, that depends if he gets taken out at halftime or not.
Nebraska versus Ohio State.
Ohio State.
See what I saw from Nebraska last week against Indiana? Ohio State's going to have a field day. We're going to see
60.
a lot of backups from Ohio State.
Yeah.
We might see Carnell Tate go off for the Buckeyes at wide receiver. So yeah, Ohio State big time there. Oklahoma versus Ole Miss. I got Ole Miss. If you get shut out, like no touchdowns, or no, I think Oklahoma had a touchdown. They just missed the 2-point conversion. I think they were trying to do, or extra point. But still, South Carolina did that to Oklahoma. Ole Miss is going to do a whole lot more.
Yeah, Ole Miss is gonna roll over them. It's
I know every week is different.
it could be. There
But-
was a lot of upsets in 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
A lot of upsets, but I don't think this is an upset. I think Ole Miss is gonna lay it to Oklahoma.
All right, my redemption time. Washington versus Indiana. Indiana big time. Let's go. Like I said, I'm not going to doubt Indiana again.
No, they're
They're going to be my bold prediction whenever they go against Ohio State or whatever.
Indiana's.
I don't care.
They've
I'm going
come
to
to
take
play.
Indiana.
They've come to play.
Next up, we got Notre Dame versus Navy. I have to go with my Fighting Irish, though. I know he's probably going to go say differently.
Yeah, especially after this. All this smack. that was being talked.
Yeah.
Go Navy. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
I do think. I did pick Navy, but I do think Notre Dame is gonna walk away with it. But I'm picking Navy just because.
What are you doing?
To bust his balls.
I want the best of both worlds.
No, I'm just telling you my opinion. I'm just busting your balls.
Oh, great. All
So
right.
if Navy wins, then they're super legit. Super legit.
Okay. Here we go. Missouri, Alabama, Tuscaloosa. What is going on with these two teams that Saturday afternoon?
Missouri. If Missouri comes out and uses their weapons and
This chair's making some noises.
noises. It's a ghost. It's Halloween. If Missouri comes out and isn't flat and puts it right to Alabama from the get go,
Yeah.
I think Missouri will edge them out.
Okay. It's been a long time since Alabama's won or lost back-to-back games. I don't think this is the year where it happens again. I'm taking Alabama. BYU versus UCF.
BYU.
Yeah, I'm taking BYU.
BYU's sweet.
Yeah. After last week, I'm not picking against BYU. Like the teams that I went with my bold predictions last week, I'm not going against again. Sorry. Illinois and Oregon. Very good matchup. Big Ten football.
I
But it's
think
not your traditional Big Ten football format.
it's new Big Ten
Yeah.
versus old Big Ten. So New Kids on the Block.
New school, old school.
Yeah, was it just like New Kids? Was that a band
We got New Kids on the Block.
versus Backstreet Boys? Whatever.
At least you didn't be like BTS.
I've never heard of
It's
it.
New Kids on the Block versus BTS.
I'm actually gonna take Illinois. I think beating up on Michigan is gonna help boost their confidence, and they already have a really solid team. I think their defense is gonna cause Oregon to have fits.
Okay.
Um,
I don't disagree with you there.
but it's tough because Oregon's so talented.
I know. So I think it's going to be a troubled first half for Oregon. Make some adjustments after halftime, and they find a way to utilize their speed against that defense. And then that's when they pull away in the second half. I got Oregon beating Illinois.
Yeah, I have Illinois. The only reason I say that is their secondary, their cornerbacks and one of their safeties are huge.
Yeah.
And they're fast. They remind me of what's that? I can't remember his name. Sherman.
Richard Sherman?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like they're big like him. They're long, so I think they'll be able to, kind of maybe what's it called, cancel out Oregon speed,
Okay.
because Oregon is fast as hell.
Hail.
So I think that's what's going to happen. But it is going to be. I think this is going to be the game to watch.
That one?
Yes.
All right.
It's the first time we can say that in the Big Ten in a while.
You got Texas and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's already pulled off an upset this year, beating Alabama. Can they pull it up again, beating Texas?
Bing, bing, bing. Vanderbilt.
Oh, bold prediction?
Bold prediction.
All right, put it up.
And I think Texas is awesome, but Vanderbilt is shown that we are SEC.
Do you know how much help Alabama had to give Vanderbilt just to pull off that close upset?
That's fine. Texas shot themselves in the foot too. How do you,
Against Georgia, though. Georgia, Vanderbilt.
I don't know. Vanderbilt's already got one upset.
I
They're
know.
ready.
I know.
We'll
like
see.
I'm not going to count them out
We'll see.
because it is college football. Anything happens on a Saturday
And it's
afternoon.
SEC.
It is.
So
I got Texas though. I can't do it. Can't pull the trigger on it. All right, we have Florida State.
sorry.
I'm saying, oh my goodness. You say Florida State, we just start laughing. We can't do that.
No, sorry.
We can't do that.
I actually feel bad for them.
I know.
Miami.
Yeah, I got Miami beating Florida State.
This is gonna hurt.
If this is the game that Miami falls, though, I don't think Miami should make the 12-team playoff. I don't care where they finish. That's worse than the Vanderbilt upset.
Oh. You know what?
Yeah.
That's
Come
true.
on.
That's a solid truth right there.
If they
man.
hold all their stuff back, it was like, we're going to wait till we play Miami, and then we play.
I totally forgot about this game.
Oh, yeah?
Texas A&M.
You got Texas A&M?
And Versailles, yeah. Texas, yeah.
Yeah, it's Texas A&M. That's who I have. It's a college station. That stadium's going to be electric. LSU, yeah, they're firing on all cylinders right now, but I think this is when they get taken back a peg or two.
Yeah. I think Texas A&M is going to come up there.
Texas A&M plays bigger and they play
They
faster.
pop them in the mouth.
Yeah. Here we go. You're Michigan versus Michigan State, the in-state rival. The whole week where we hear, are you blue? Are you green? Michigan or Michigan State?
Honestly,
I don't care personally.
I'm a Michigan fan, and I think State's going to win.
Oh, no.
That's how disappointed I am in Michigan. The fact that I'm choosing against my own team
Wow.
means that I only want to beat him in these predictions.
Wow.
They can't throw the ball, and until proven otherwise, it's like, why? Like I'm gonna keep being disappointed.
Okay.
Um.
Just for that reason, I'm going to pick Michigan.
Oh.
I'm going to pick Michigan to beat Michigan State. Just because Michigan State also doesn't really have a valid quarterback. Sure, they can run the ball. Sure, they got a decent defense.
They've thrown over 100 yards multiple times this year.
But Michigan State's run defense is horrible.
And Michigan likes to run the ball.
Yeah.
But
So-
we're going to try to pass the ball and just
Michigan.
knock that all out. State, unfortunately. Sorry, Michigan.
We got Penn State at Wisconsin.
Bold prediction.
What? Oh, shit. Are you going
I'm
Wisconsin?
going Wisconsin.
Oh, my.
I think the Badgers have had a bad rap, and I think they're going to come out and shock old Penny Boys.
See, I was going to do this because I think they're looking ahead to the Ohio State game, Penn State. And I think that trap game everyone talks about every year. I thought about doing it, but then I was like, James Franklin, there's no way he lets that happen with this team.
It's either Wisconsin's going to stick around long enough and win, or Penn State's going to fuck them up.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the stick around and win.
Okay. I got Penn State. Kansas versus Kansas State. There's no way Kansas State doesn't win this game.
Yeah, Kansas State is going to blow them out.
Yeah. Then
SMU?
ending it with SMU going against Duke. Duke 5-1 or 6-1. And this is an ACC matchup.
I'm going to go Duke. I'm going to Duke.
Duke again.
I'm going Duke.
No, I'm not pointing at anything.
No.
There's a bold prediction.
Is it a bold prediction at 5-1, 6-1? Is
Yeah.
that a bold prediction?
Yes.
I mean, SMU.
It's ranked versus unranked.
Okay.
It's the upset.
Okay. I got 3 bold predictions this week.
Hold on.
And it's surprising going against my team.
Yeah. You're going wild this week.
Yeah, I'm not sick no more. I'm seeing clearly.
You're turning
now
that
the
Michigan M into a W, being wild.
Yeah, Wisconsin. I can't do it. My fingers have been broke 3 times. But that's as far as they've been. They don't go any further.
Yeah, I have SMU winning that game because I do have them in my 12-team playoff. So,
I'm all
which
about
is
the
weird.
upsets.
So you have also SMU in your 12-team playoff. So it doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't mean
that
they're
you
going to
picked
lose. It doesn't mean they're going to not be in the playoffs.
It'd be hard to come back being in that conference.
It'd be
I guess all
also,
these.
it'd be also not hard to come back in that conference.
Nah.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
Yeah.
We'll see.
No, we'll see.
I'm shooting from the hip.
All right, but that's going to do it for today on the Sports Exchange Podcast. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. And in the description, you're going to find our Facebook link. Go ahead and check that out. Big shout out to Drake Publishing for sponsoring. Made us the shirts. He's got other stuff coming out possibly, so be on the lookout for that. And if you want any of these shirts, let us know down in the comments. We do shipping, so as long as you let us know you want it, we can get that possible.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible if you dream it. All right, well, stay tuned for the NFL episode. That'll be up the video above this one. So go ahead and check that out, and we will see you next time.